Sup goats, it's Joe, and welcome back to a new live reaction and review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Interval Audio's Without God Season 10. This is the 10th installment of Interval's most, do I say infamous, compilation series. My personal favorite, don't get me wrong, I love Interim, the numbered interval series, and Elan Vital. Can't forget Neo Subculture. I'm assuming that's going to be a comp series. But the WG comps are just so eclectic. They're all around. The storytelling is great. The numbered interval comps feel like compilations to me, while the WG series feel like a story. It's like reading a fucking novel. You can listen to these front to back. Sure, you can do that with a numbered interval series too, but it doesn't have the same effect. Yeah, statistically, I have no fucking idea which compilation series is the most popular, but I'd assume that it'd be WG as well because there's 10 of these things, and the amount of tracks tends to hover at about 30 songs, I believe, so definitely the most music is on WG comps when it comes to the entire interval discog. Yeah, this series is brought as classics, underground dubstep classics such as Molly's Abaddon to the table. I could go on and on about my love for this comp series specifically when it comes to Interval's discography generally, but let's get into this music, honestly. So damn excited. 29 tracks to get through, some very interesting names on this thing that I'd never expect to see on an interval compilation, specifically one person. But yeah, I think that does it for an intro. Extant, Eternum. This is going to be an orchestral piece because it's extant and it's an intro song. I'm gonna be honest, I actually like Extant's orchestral music, his cinematic music, more than I do his dubstep. I like his metallically tinged, tear-outy kind of stuff too, but his orchestral stuff, 11:52, no fucking way. This song is 11 minutes, it's 12 minutes long, bro. Love this. Ooh, that ARP is great. Oh, drums. I wasn't expecting some EDM to land in here, or IDM almost. The way the drums sweep in was great. And that texture. So Extant just decided to pull in Alan Moore with this track. Goodness. Alright, we're 2 minutes in, a sixth of the way through. Calm before the storm, I can tell. I hear some faint drums in the back, like this thudding sound, throbbing sound. I could see this man honestly just making stuff for movies. He's at that level. The composition is on point, the sound design too. This is truly Alan Moore level stuff. Loving this. Neura. Drum and bass. So the melody just cut off. It got more sinister. I love that transient heavy sound. That like that was hard. Yeah, this is the kind of shit that we're subject to when it comes to the WG series. That choir. And the way it cut off again. This fucks me up. The segmentation is amazing. It's like a call and response. Melodic section, the background touches are all pretty and shit. And then they just cut off and it's pure, vicious neuro. We're not even halfway through yet. This one song is the length of a rhythm EP. And I'm saying rhythm because rhythm tends to be the shortest dubstep music out there. Is that factual? I don't know. Another riser, this time without a sub. I love that sub in the riser. I wish you would have brought that back, but this is more uplifting, I guess. Oh. Build up. Some wave. Nice. It's not gritty enough to be hard wave, I'd say. Ooh, that key switch up. Okay. Not sure how to feel about that. Love the melodicity though. This is a bit sudden in my opinion. I feel like if he would have pitch bent it into that next section, it would have been cooler. But I'll take it since it sounded good. It's just the transitioning. Oh. Ooh. Alright, we have one more climax section to go. Judging by the waveform, we've had 4 so far, right? It's like the cinematic piece, the drum and bass, and the wave. I love how the ocean sounds are panned left. Not everything has to be balanced left and right. It makes it seem realer. Like, I'm standing here at the shore, ocean is here, and there's some birds there. And he just had to flex his musical muscles with this track. An acoustic section almost? Folk? Yep, more or less. Almost Porter Robinson vibes, actually. If this is his voice, like if these are his vocals, then I don't even know what to say. And he's already maxed out his production skills, and bro sings on top of that, fuck's sake. And that like vocal chopping there was so beautiful. Definitely my favorite Extant song. That was an experience, and that was track fucking 1. Round of applause. Honestly, just round of applause. Goodness. Ooh, wow. Yeah, there was an IDM section, drum and bass, wave, and folk with some ambient field recording stuff in between to help segue it, transition it. Fucking amazing. I don't have anything else to say about that one. I will be returning to it and listening to it in its entirety. Alan Moore level stuff. I don't want to compare him to Alan too much because he has his own thing going for him. Like, sound design wise, approach wise, it's actually something entirely different. I was just making that comparison because of the length and the expanding of every single aspect that makes up this song. Alan Moore's the first person that me and you behind the camera can probably think of. Yeah, that was stellar. I loved that. Every single section. Beautiful. Composition, production, everything 10 out of 10. Great vocals in the back end too. Okay, Ivoryghost, Serotonin. No idea what we're gonna get. It might be hard wave, it might be something else. I love the glistening sounds here. Yep, I think it's hard wave. I'm waiting for like a low mid melody to come in. It's a pretty shrill melodicity and some booming basses. There's not anything sandwiched in between there. I'm waiting for that. Still feels like the intro, kind of. It's good though, it's good. Yeah, I like what the individual elements do. But yeah, again, like mix-wise, in the frequency range, there's like something missing. Like there's empty space there because of the melodies being so shrill up top and the bass being so booming at the bottom. It feels like there's a void in between there. And that might just be my speakers, but... And the progression in this second breakdown, I'm not all too sure about. The 808's cool. And some sounds are like too quiet, in my opinion. I definitely get the approach, the appeal. I like it too. It's just some mixing problems, in my opinion. Might listen to it on my earpods or on my AirPods later to see if that's just my speakers. Yeah, again, outside of that, it was pretty cool. Melodicity wasn't crazy or anything crazy powerful in my opinion, but it was cute. And I can see why the song's called Serotonin. It was pleasant as well. Yeah, progression, mixing kinda. The sounds were clean, but the balancing of the sounds, my personal feeling of something being missing in the mix just kind of took away from this track. But yeah, outside of that, not a bad tune at all. It was cute. It was pretty. All right, let's get to Masq with Tortura. Tortura? Wow. That vocal almost sounds like a cry for help or something. That's pitched up crazily. I love the kind of watery keys there too. There's that Masq composition. I could have used some more expanding on that intro, but I'm not complaining. Love the snare. Nice timbre to that. Kind of muffled but slaps nicely. His warbly sound design isn't as pronounced here, but it actually works. It's like more muddy. Oh, love how he brought the vocal back. Love the flow. Ooh. That like bridge fake out part there. Fill, I guess. Yeah, how's that for some progression? It's more chaotic, generally. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. I didn't have too many complaints with that one. Guess the final drop feels a bit unresolved in my opinion. I am not sure if that drop was longer or shorter than the first one. Okay, it was half the length. That's why I was missing something. Back to that pet peeve of mine when it comes to EDM and dubstep generally. The final drop being half the length of the first. I'd rather have it so the first drop is half the length of the second, if that makes sense. Leaves me wanting more, leaves me craving more if I'm liking the tune. And that's the case with this one. Kind of a drawback for me outside of that. This one was pretty good. Let's take a minute to appreciate Masq's sound design. Like that warbly sound he always puts to the table. He was bringing Noro influenced sounds to the table before it was cool, at least in the dubstep sphere. I've known him for a minute, 5+ years. Diablo is still one of my favorite songs of his, especially that intro. Yeah, it has this really interesting character to it, and it works so well the way it twists through his music, the sound design, I mean. But yeah, that was pretty much Masq, what I expect of a Masq song. Good. I liked it. Let's get to Zeneth with Expression. I still don't know what Zeneth is really about 100%. I think they just try different shit out with every track. This sounds like mid-tempo or electro maybe, and I'm messing with it. Another one of these. He did something like this on Fifth Interval with somebody else, Blacklist. Their name was, I believe. I do not mind another dose of this. That Skrillex old school dubstep approach. We call it electro / mid-tempo nowadays, but it's very nostalgic. I love the hazy intro. Got to say, I didn't expect that to come in again. Mainly because, like I was saying, I feel like Zeneth just tries whatever out with their music and doesn't really stick to one formula or one approach. This might be their general style that I just don't know about. Who the fuck knows? Y'all probably do. That clap is clean. That's what makes this tune feel a bit more futuristic than that rock and roll bangarang era stuff. Like, the percussion is cleaner, the sounds are cleaner. They're modernized. Like, if Skrillex were to go back to that original bangarang rock and roll project and just refine everything, it'd sound just about like this. I'm not sure. I think I like the Blacklist collab more. That went in this direction, but this is still cool. I still mess with this. It just really takes it back. And sometimes you need nostalgic shit like this. Of course, with some particular quirks about it that make it modernized, that make it unique to the producer as well. Yeah, I liked it. I'd love to hear a few more songs going in this direction by Zeneth. Alright, let's get into the heavy shit. Nimda's remix of Supercool's Body Melt. I listened to Body Melt before starting the vid, and it's Aimless inspired, I feel like, so I don't know what to really expect from this one. It was okay though, in my opinion. It's pretty standard Nimda. I like the growls and the wubs. The machine gun delivery, I'm not crazy about. It feels more uninspired than his stuff usually is. Yeah, all the sounds were good, but the flow of the machine guns, the pitching felt uninspired in my opinion, as well as the flow. Felt like it was tripping over itself, and the percussion, the side chaining of the percussion specifically, when it cuts off the flow, it sort of takes you out of it. It's not one of my favorites by Barney. I've heard a lot of these sounds too, and I don't mind producers reusing sounds, cause like that's their distinct sound palette, but here, it feels too familiar. Yeah, this growl, heavy section of the drop is better. Oh, cool sub. I'm just now starting to pick up on it because all the sounds were on top of it, just sonically getting in the way of it. In my opinion, one of Nimda's more underwhelming songs as of late. Sound design wise, I got what I needed from him, but the way the sounds were put together wasn't great. Specifically, again, the machine gun flow, that could have been executed better in my opinion. I like the layering of the growl basses, that was nice. The way he sort of paired those, that was cool. Not crazy about it. I'll go back to it after the vid to see if I warm up to it, but as of right now, I'm not the biggest fan. It's It's meh. Punishment. Hostile. Listen to the clip, I liked it. Not as good as some of the songs he's dropped this year, but it's good. Alright, we got the sort of filtered out radio static type fucking intro. That's it. The note. Da, 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 da. That's interesting variation right there. On those machine guns, how clean they are. Oh, this, I forgot about this. Oh, this is fucking creative. That's hard. Okay, what an idea. It sounds like the machine gun he's using is fucking jamming. Oh, that's nasty. Oh, just every hit, bro. Let's go, let's go. Alright, bring back that light switch thing. This is the most creative thing I've heard from him in a minute. Oh. It kind of gets repetitive here towards the end, but that is very refreshing. Y'all know I love Punishment's music. It's very innovative, influential in the underground scene, and the underground of the underground when it comes to dubstep. But that one idea right there, that stands out so much. And not because I love it so much more than what he usually does, but because it's so creative and different. I like it just about as much as his trusty formula, his go-to sound. But I love to see him experiment like that, for real. Yeah, those first portions were typical Machine Gun madness of Punishments. The machine guns were very pristine, and the way they ricocheted off each other, the way the transients worked with the metallic sounds was delicious. Alright, let's get to... Ooh, I've been waiting for this track for a scorching minute. And I know how it goes. I've heard both drops. DKKAY and Stag with Sacrilege. It's out. I know how the whole tune goes. I mean... except this is sounding good. There it is. As soon as that kick comes in. Oh, damn, I missed the tag. Stag. DKKAY. Oh, that's solid. Goodness. The wailing, clean synth, and the pitching it does, it goes upstairs and downstairs and back up. The Reese. The sustain. Oh, it's so vicious. Woo! Woo! That is it right there. That double drop was standard DK, just machine guns. The Reese was tight. I don't hear too many Reeses from him. The sustain too, clean as fuck. Tonal sustain. Oh, the pitching. That tonality is so good. Oh, just right after it. That added sustain layer. Fire. Long-awaited collab. The boys. Fire. Fire, fire, fire. Something else coming in. Half a minute left. Also, big up DK for being like a main name when it comes to interval comps. Scorpion is, I believe, the most played song off of Fifth Interval, and this tune is the most liked. I'm not sure when it comes to plays, but I just realized my durag was setting very whack. Had to fix it real quick. But let's get into Veksyu with Chasm. I know Veksyu is the alter ego of a certain someone. Still not sure if I'm allowed to reveal or not, but sucks that they decided to not continue with their main alias. But this really gritty D&B direction, I do fuck with. Ooh, what is this? Just really potent drum and bass. Ooh, that. I'm waiting for the. There it is. Oh. The stabby delivery. Ooh, I like the go side chaining and that snare switch up. That really organic sounding clap. I hope he keeps that for the second drop. Those gurgly sounds. It's kind of the main producer's, the main alias sound is sort of creeping into this style, this Veksyu style. It's definitely, it's weightier though, it's much more gritty. And that column response is solid. This twisting drum and bass, neuro bass. And then the... I think my favorite Veksyu track still has to go to the Fifth Interval tune for how wild that one was. But I like this song too. This is a cool song. I'd like to see that other alias being incorporated more into the Veksyu sound in the future because it was done well here. Alright, Skum, Insect Zone. It's been a minute since I've heard the name Skum or seen it with new music. Also have known the name Skum for a hot minute from the dubstep those days. Forget the names of the songs though. Interesting mixing. Creative build-up, cool build-up. Alright, nice pitching of the sound and the sub. It makes up for the stiffness of the flow, the pitch movement. I feel like without that pitch movement, it'd get stale. I like how computerized and croaky it is. That's interesting. Insect Zone. Matches the title. Okay. B section got repetitive in my opinion. Ooh, that added simple is cool, the lasery gun type sound. First drop, not too bad. Not the biggest fan either. It was okay. Like the full synths here. Synth chords, synth layering. The Mandem vocals okay too. Not sure it needs to be there, especially because the mixing is so, well, not too off, but it feels kind of weird, the drums and the synths working together, like they pop out in a weird way. Yeah, I like this more coherent pitch movement over the just sporadic pitch movement that came in at first. It feels kind of excessive and forced. This is cool. This is cool. That's solid. The sub, like a wave, and the sound design riding on it. This is a better B section. Okay. Alright, that final drop also felt cut off, but it was fitting, in my opinion. Again, I don't remember if the first drop was like that too. Segued into a different set of bars with some added variation and then just ended right there, but I felt like they cut it off at the appropriate time. Not because I didn't like the sound, I did appreciate them trying to do as much with it as possible with that specific approach and direction, that sound palette. And those lasery gun sounds were really cool the way those were incorporated. Some sections work better than others, and some parts get tedious too, so did the drops really need to be that long? In my opinion, no. It's a 5.5 minute rhythm tune. If they were to just cut the fat out of some of the drops where it was more lackluster, I would have messed with it more. But it was alright. I'll give it a like. That was not too bad. Okay, Kronomikal, aka Mantle. Alright, nice forlorn keys. Hold on! Ooh. Sub movement is on point. I just had to check real quick by turning it up. And that delivery, that up top lasery tear out type sound. It's one of my favorite Kronomikal songs in a hot minute. I love how shrill the sounds are. Take out. That's hard. That is hard. I probably heard the clip to this too. Love to see him expanding on the sound in this way. It's still him, but it's not just as overblown as some of his stuff is. To the point where it gets tiring. Distortion is held back a little. It's flavorful. It has character. The variation is good. The flow is solid when it just fires off. I love that. And the syncopation worked well with it too. That ba 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 boom, and the snare just comes right back in. That's tight. That's one of my personal highlights from his discog in the past year or so. That was good. These intros so far have been so good. Love to see it. Love to see dubstep producers just putting effort into their non-drop sections. Love to see it. I'll leave it at that. Automatik. I am. Listen to the clip of this today, matter of fact, to prep me for this tune in full. It's just standard Automatik. Goes hard. Ooh. I thought it was a siren at first, but it's a really detuned pad, and I love it. Here it comes. Where's it? There it is. screech! What was that beat? Hold on, reload. It sounds like the sub pitched all the way up. But it isn't because the sub's still there. It might be a duplicate. What the fuck was that? He did a similar thing on down with the beeps. I cannot wait for this second drop. I already heard the first from the clip, like I was saying. The flow is so fucking off-putting. There it is. Oh. Stop blue balling me, bro. That's that bass. It just it's so full and loud. There it is. And this is music to just throw your body across the room to, just your bloody body. That's what I can imagine. Just a one-man mosh pit type shit. That little repetition was cool there. It's automatic. That's staple automatic for you right there. Fucked with that one. It's his brand of tear out, death step, minatory, all rolled into one. You get the best aspects out of each. One minor drawback I maybe had, the flow in the first drop. A bit difficult to get into at first, but then you sort of start to catch the rhythm as the drop goes on. And I don't know if he does this intentionally. The mixing is a bit wishy-washy. With Automatik, I don't mind because his sounds are so gargantuan. And I'm not sure if it's sonically possible to really have the sounds all up in your ears because of their size. Yeah, I don't think the sounds can get any more pronounced than they already are. So it's pretty easy to overlook. It's a recurring thing that I've picked up from his music, but it doesn't really take away at all, to be honest. I don't even know why I mentioned it. Yeah, I fucked with that one. Is it better than Down or Ghost in the Shell? Nah. I'd say it's on par with Down, but I've grown to like Ghost in the Shell more than both of those. But yeah, I am definitely satisfied and, like Repost, messed with it. Havel. So fucking anticlimactic. Havel. Tarnished. It's been a minute since I've heard a new Havel tune. Starting off with his somber keys, as always. That's great. Havel needs to get his flowers in the death step scene, I feel like, because of how clean his approach to death step is, how crunchy and epic his drops are, and especially how he builds them up in this manner. Like, his storytelling is really good. Alright, we got a vocal. Might be Dark Souls, I don't know. I've been meaning to get into Dark Souls at some point, but I never get to fucking playing video games because I have too much to do. Typical Havel right there, staple. I did not expect it to hit this hard though. I was expecting something good, but not this good. Oh! That machine gun is... That's interesting. It's not all too weighty, but... It's very, like, shrill. It's more of a percussion thing. More of a rhythmic, perk kind of sound. He executed that really well. Ooh, the vocal! He makes it come in. These motherfuckers love the blue ball people, these death step people, as of late. And he ends out the drop there. That is fire. Take tunes like Shura, for example. A bit too drawn out for me. A little tedious, even though I like the idea. That's not the case here. Everything is really compact. That grungy ass dubstep bass, I did not expect for it to cut that deep. It was grandiose and epic as usual, like all of Havel's music is, but this might top his WG8 release. I forget the name. Fathom. I love that one too. Might top it. We'll see how the second drop is. I will say I like the melodies, the melodicity of Fathom more than this, but this is still good. But I feel like they're more formulaic, dreary chords and melodies here. Not as unique. Ooh. Like how he halves the tempo sometimes. What he does with the percussion and how he sparsely incorporates it. Right there. I need another dose of that to help me be satisfied with this song. Come on now. Oh, that's one of his... That bass. Oh, he just leaves you on a cliffhanger like that, but I'll take it. The drops were at equal length, so I'll take it. The tension he built with the lack of sounds, specifically percussion, was amazing. It's up there with Fathom for me for that reason. I mean, sure, the non-drop sections aren't as good on here in my opinion, but just like for the drop being as creative as it was, less is more type shit. Yeah, that was good. That's what I need from Havel right there. Especially those basses. Those basses were some of the best I've heard from him in a while. Not as racy or even tonal as his bass lines tend to be, but really deep cutting and full, and movement was there too. It was fucking fire. Okay, let's get to Amoonster by Amoons. I don't like Amoons music. I think there's one or two tunes that I can partially get into of his, but mostly I just feel like his stuff is painful on the ears and not in a good way. His repetitive rhythm approach, it's interesting for sure. It's like really creaky and horror inspired, but it doesn't work for me. I'm usually really iffy with his tonality. It's like something about it I can't get into. This isn't awful. I like the percussion. But the tonality, again, there's something rubbing me the wrong way. It doesn't sound off-key, but it sounds dissonant or detuned to the point where I can't fully get into it. Yeah, it's predominantly with the Moon stuff why I don't like it. It's the tonality. Okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. I like the background touches too. The sound design is more pristine than I usually get from him. I like how wispy the approach is. The flow is cool too. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do see the approach of his style. That like goosebump inducing. It's like, yeah, it's horror in a rhythm format. But the repetition and then the tonality that comes in, it doesn't work for me. Here it's... I'm trying my best to like this. Nah. There's something too dissonant about this. Y'all know generally I don't like dissonance. But yeah, like I said, it sounds painful sonically. And it ends like that. It was just a sound design thing that made me not get into this tune. The structuring is there, the variation is there, but then there's that sound design. Tonality wise does not work well together. I get it's supposed to be unsettling and have you on the edge of your seat, but the way it's executed, and then the repetition on top of that, like I was saying, for it just to be like that for a few more bars isn't really it. Some sections weren't bad though of this tune. Some sections were alright, but then like that final leg, I think my favorite Amoon song, the one that I've messed with the most so far, is his Jiko collab. Back when they were Blaster, it was called A, right? Just A. And when it comes to solo tracks, I don't even know. No disrespect. It might be one off of his showcase I listened to. Some of the music on there wasn't too bad. Okay, I wasn't expecting to really enjoy this, and I got more out of it than I was expecting. I guess I'm glad I partially got into this tune, but as a whole thing, not for me. Okay, TAMIS, Glitch Kiss. I only know TAMIS from their DKKAY collab, which was good. Do not know what their style is about, really. The sequence is nice. Dreamy. Also, it's kind of like DKKAY, their style. It's more computerized, but also glossy future rhythm. I wouldn't expect Troy to sign something like this, but I'm all for it. We don't hear all too much future rhythm on Interval. Okay, I get that Phil was supposed to be a bit sporadic, and you know what I'm saying? I was sort of getting into that melodic progression, you know? I like the direction the song was going in that drop, specifically. But then that reverse fill sort of came in, similar to what Aekae did on Blood Material, I want to say. And it kind of ruined it for me. It threw me off of that melodicity I was sort of feeling. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. From there, it just started getting even more weird. See, there's small doses of it there, but it's not as bad. It's just kind of like glitchy quirks that make it more interesting. Yeah, that's fine. Have to shout out the sub too. How simple it is. And pound it. Outside of that, nice progression actually. I did like the progression. I liked the original melodicity and what it did. And yeah, it's a well-produced track. I will be going back to it. It's just that little glitchiness in the first drop sort of took me out of the whole vibe. Those other little bits that weren't as melodic, more atonal and dissonant, gave the song character and flavor, but only in small doses. So outside of that, it's a cool tune. I will be going back to it, and I will be checking out Thomas's music because I did like what I heard for the most part. All right, DUBZ, Howler. I'm a relatively new DUBZ fan. I've been sleeping on bro, not gonna lie. He makes music that I'd categorize to be in the bubbly rhythm vein, similar to what Sega, Jub, even Renzo make. Blippy, sometimes glassy and pristine. Glossy tinge a lot of the time to the synths as well. I'd even say Crippling would belong to the same sphere of rhythm. His style in parts is similar to what all those producers make. But DUBZ is one of my favorite producers to come out of that whole sphere. I mess with Renzo too. I mess with them too. But DUBZ has his own thing going for him. For real. My favorite track of his has to be Sosa, although Skinwalker and Skinwalker VIP are up there. Yeah, his simple approach, the minimalism, and the sound design are very appealing, so I'm excited to get into this one. That was nice. Riser. I love how saturated those rides are. Yeah, really solid. It's hella simple structure. Like these fake outs here, and then just really tight drops follow after. I'm fucking with this. It's not over. Ooh. Oh, that's tight. That's tight. Flow switch ups work so well. Okay. I got pretty much all that I wanted out of that drop. And simple fake out too. Nice little kick. Just, ooh. The way it came in. That was almost at loose legs level. Almost at loose legs. This is what I like to see in the Rhythm Underground. Really. I think the sub also largely, well, I know for a fact the sub largely contributes to the grooviness of the song and its catchiness. Really clean cut, solid arrangement of flows to that sound design, and some good sound design to begin with. That's another JG Dub song that I mess with. Alright, let's get to Ryuijin and Amvars with Chetverk. I'm expecting some left field underground EDM shit, just judging by the names and the title of the tune. Oh, where's that from? I know that. That's thick. That is very thick. Gurgly halftime number. Ooh. I like the background touches. Ooh, and that acapella. And this is so neat while still being so fluid because of the sound design. Alright. I got into that. This is the grime rolling off of this track. Oh, okay. Da-na-na-na-na-na. That's a motif I can latch on to right there. Oh, they cut it off. This was groovy. This was groovy. Yeah, not much to speak on when it comes to that song. I like the background harmonic touches that were added in the B sections. That da-na-na-na-na-na-na was pretty memorable for me. I could have used more of that. Maybe in the first drop as well. Outside of that, not any crazy ideas, in my opinion, but the production is just up there. It's top notch, and it makes up for that. Good song, good song. I'll check out both of these people as well. Both of these aliases. Who knows? It might be a few more people per alias. Let's get to Jestic and Antikvng with God. What's up with that title directly contradicting the compilation name? Is it Despite Troy? I love intros like this. There's a swing to this. I think the snare is moved up a little. Ooh. Oh, that atmosphere. Oh, there's Antikvng. I love when he goes all out with the 808s. I wish it would be louder though, the bass specifically. Maybe a bit excessive with the leaving out of the snare. I'd like it to flow more, sure. It's like a tension thing to keep you on the edge of your seat, like with a couple of these previous songs, but there, I'd want the song to flow a bit more. Just for it being a trap metal number and shit. Yeah, this one wasn't bad. It was a bit brief in my opinion. It was definitely brief. Both sections, I'm assuming Jestic worked on the first more and Antikvng on the second. I feel like both of them could have been expanded upon. The progression was a bit lackluster. I've heard better from Antikvng. This is an alright song. As for Jestic, I'm not too big on Jestic stuff generally. Most of the stuff I listen to of theirs is okay, merely. Yeah, cool ideas, thick drums, overall a decent trap metal song, overall a decent trap metal beat, but I was expecting more with Antikvng's name on this, so yeah, I don't want to say disappointing, but I was expecting more from it, so I guess I have to say disappointing a little bit. Alright, y'all, so next up is Sarcophagus, Prod Kedalos by Do Not Resurrect. Why the fuck is he on this compilation? Troy has officially transcended EDM with these comp series. Sure, I know people like Vermin and Sean have brought non-EDM leaning music to the table before. Those were more meme songs, respectfully, and I think they were made to be satirical. This, on the other hand, I was introduced to Do Not Resurrect through Troy, actually. I think it was him reposting one of his songs. So I went ahead to listen to one of Dude's EPs, Aim to Please, Shoot to Kill, and I was just blown away. Especially with You Kids Want to See a Dead Body. Just by how deep this man's voice is. For those who know me, I listen to just as much rap as I do dubstep, especially underground rap. So his shit is right up my alley. A couple songs I've listened to by Do Not Resurrect, I fuck with heavily. So, yeah, I love to see some underground rap on fucking Interval. Who would have thought? Let's get into this. The way this shit just opens. That sample in the back. Man's flow too. It's like his voice almost mixes, overlaps with the 808 sonically. Let me read the lyrics too while I'm at it. Yeah, that like Arabic leaning vocal. This is nasty. Alright, slowed and shit. Goes hard. Goes hard. That's a favorite. Shout out to Kedalos for the beat. And shout out to Do Not Resurrect for that tight delivery. Had to go through the lyrics because I couldn't understand 100% of what it was saying, obviously. If you want to spit in that low of a fucking register, but yeah, that was sick. Of the handful of songs I know of his, again, stumbled across his shit maybe a month back, a month or two. That's one of my favorites, definitely. Alright, let's get to PIRI with Destroy. Produced by Antikvng and bsterthegawd. Oh, that nasty fucking... Is this Korean? I'm not sure, I'm gonna be honest. That snare is so big. How should there be lyrics in the description? Ooh, that melody. Well, I've not heard of PIRI, but PIRI snapped on this tune over this beat. That's a tight sample too. It was a metal song. I didn't even like hear that out. Okay, well, another solid fucking rap song. Gotta like and repost that up. And there's gonna be another rap song after this. Fuck's sake. I don't have too much to say about that one. Antikvng produced this with the help of That Prod and bsterthegawd. They snapped on the instrumental. PIRI's flows were tight, like I was saying. And I do wish I could have at least understood what he was saying through lyrics. I don't mind listening to music in a different language, but I do like to read the lyrics, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I liked it. That was good. I liked it. It's more trap metal leaning, and it was cool. It was cool. Let's get to the third rap song, War by Vermin, produced by Antikvng with Legend. And I've heard of Vermin from WG8. And from another one. Didn't do Ivoryghost from Interim 4? Or was it? I think it was Interim 4, right? This was him. Okay, I don't like the swing of the beat here. Like, that clap is way too far up front. Huh, it's kind of better here. Even though it's in the same position, it's just a different snare. I like his rapping though. Triplet delivery, melodic, it's energetic. And the rest of the beat is good in my opinion. It's just that snare, that clap. Why is it so far up? I get you want to add character through the swing and all, but that's a bit extreme in my opinion. I did not make out what this dude was saying either. I'm assuming it was in English. I'm guessing it was because of Ivoryghost. And the other tune that he dropped on an interval comp, I think it was WG8. I already said that, did I not? It was pretty cool, kind of short. The couple lyrics I made out didn't sound too introspective, I want to say. I feel like this is just mumble rap, but you know what? I mess with mumble rap, so I don't mind that. Overall, vibe-wise, it was not bad. Yeah, that's about it for that one. Okay, 3 rap songs on an interval compilation. I love to see it. I pretty much liked every single one. Fall Unto Paroxysm. Alright, it's like death metal. Well, I like this riff here. You know what, that might be deathcore even. Yo, I do not listen to metal, so pardon me for the miscategorization. Oh shit, this is Prime. Okay. Dang. I did not know that. Prime's music is sick. And apparently this is prog metal. Progressive metal. I was about to say some dumb shit, like it reminds me of Chelsea Grin, but again, I don't listen to metal, so my reviewing skills are going to be very amateur when it comes to this song specifically because I don't listen to enough of the genre. Maybe a handful of songs here and there, but that's about it. This is pretty cool though. I see why it's called progressive metal too. The progression is pretty good. It's kind of groovy too. It's kind of repetitive here. I like the guitar tone. How full it is. Oh wow, okay, this is getting tedious as hell. And apparently you pronounce the word paroxysm. I like the backing riffs. They complement the main strumming well. Strumming. Okay, a lot of parts in this song got stale and repetitive. I guess that's a trope of progressive metal that I don't know about, but I personally wasn't a fan of it. The rest was good. Again, I said I like the guitar tones and the riffs generally, the idea. The motifs for what they were until they got just overdone were good in my opinion. Outside of that, it was a pretty straightforward and to the point metal tune. I mean, yeah, I listen to a lot of metal-influenced music, but don't really listen to metal all too much. This was good, though. I like this. Outside of some of the more repetitive sections. Let's get to Kedalos, who produced the Do Not Resurrect song, so big up. I'm already sort of introduced to their style with Polar. This is sounding good. Oh, is it pronounced Kedalos? What is this? It's some sort of wave. I just want to know what kind of wave it is. I just need to know the prefix. Synthwave. Or retro wave, one of those. I did not expect this. Troy got some shit up his sleeves. This is synthwave. I'm an avid synthwave listener as well. I love me synthwave, retro wave, 80s influenced music generally. This breakbeat sounding pattern almost, it fits very well. Pan snare, okay. I like that throbbing melodicity there. It's pulsing. Very unexpected, very welcomed by me. I messed with that one. As far as I know, it was fleshed out. The drum arrangement in the final breakdown was interesting, especially how many different drums Kedalos introduced towards the end. But it sounded very throwback, very retro, very vintage, and it sounded authentically like something from the 80s, which is what I look for the most when it comes to synthwave, unless you're trying to mesh it with something more futuristic, you know? I think that's where retro wave, that's the difference between synth and retro wave. Retro wave has more modern aspects about it. Or is it synthwave? It's one of two. I can't fully distinguish the two, but I'm a fan of both genres, so yeah, that was good. Let's get to Arael. I've heard of that name from somewhere with Hikari. This is going to be hard wave. I can feel it. That motif is nice. So I love when hard wave songs have a vocal coming in towards like the B section or the switch. That's always so mesmerizing to me. It's so satisfying. That little pitching of the main lead was nice. Nice. I'm gonna have to count up how many dubstep songs there are on this compilation because it's not many, but I welcome it with open arms. We have interim for that shit. Really good way to just make a statement with your 10th installment of a comp series. I'm kind of missing the hi-hats here. There are some. I wish they'd be louder to sort of carry the flow, to have something fast-paced and rapid up in your face so you can feel it more, I guess. Never mind, I just realized that they were at the same volume in the first drop. It feels different here. The slight differences between both of those breakdowns, those drops, those beat drops was nice. The second one felt more in the moment. because of the lack of hi-hats at first, or just rapid percussion generally, and the first felt more voyaging. They complemented each other well, nice melodicity, rounded out. Yeah, I'd say so. I like that one. Not one of my favorite hard wave tunes as of late because I've heard so much good shit coming from that genre, but it's good. It's objectively good. Speaking of hard wave and good hard wave, I have to shout out, this is just detouring completely from the vid, but I have to shout out to Necky's new tune, Generic Device. It's almost as good as Plus Ultra, almost as good, but it's also beautiful in its own way. So make sure to go listen to that tune. If you haven't, it's up on The Games We Play, is what the label's called. They drop some sick, fucking insane shit, generally. If y'all are looking for some underground neo-punk type EDM, yeah, I've been binging some hard wave as of late. Got me a Spotify playlist and shit. Feel free to drop recommends in the description because I'm still looking. I have a couple favorites that I always go back to, but I need more. Okay, Sean Tetsuro, Distracted and Disturbed. Is this the same Sean from WG9? I think it is, because it's like a... What did this genre even be? Hold on. Alright, it's labeled as hashtag electronic. Isn't this like... It could fall under the post-punk category, because punk really isn't a genre, it's just an aesthetic, like a subculture used to describe music like this. Ooh. I like how spacey this is. Yeah, according to my limited knowledge of genre categorization, this is post-punk. Some pretty good post-punk out of that. I wasn't sure about that main riff at first, that like motif that came in, the felt a bit dissonant, but as it started recurring throughout the track, I got used to it and it grew on me to the point where I could actually get into it as well as the rest of the song. Pretty cool. I have to shout out Troy for introducing MFs to this kind of music generally. I'll leave a like and repost for that one. I also checked the other Sean tune off of WG9. That was labeled as funk rock, and that makes sense. It sounds like funk and rock rolled into one. Yeah, shout out to Sean Tetsuro for this post-punk rock fusion. Alright, let's get to Aekae with Light 1. Love me some Aekae. He has this sort of mellow, hard wave approach that just captivates you. The melodicity. I love Introspect and Turbulence from him, both on interval compilations and a couple of his SoundCloud uploads, which I can't remember the names of right now. Nice Reese, nice pounding kick, and that jangly percussion. This is a different approach to what I usually get from him. I usually expect this crazy melody to come in pretty clean, trap percussion, on soft on the ear, but this is weightier. And it's not fully hard wave, I'd say. There's an influence of something else in here. Because it's more trap inspired, maybe ambient in there as well. And his approach to melodies is so simple, but like the sequence is what really makes it so entrancing. Nice vocal. I like how extreme the sidechaining is. Or it might not be the sidechain, it might be the kick because it's so big. But I like that. I how the kid just punches through everything. Definitely like a grounded, floor-bound song that doesn't really go too far, especially here. Has this like tribal feeling to it. That was great. Love that transition. Filtered out, filtered back in. Whole new aesthetic almost. It's pitched. Oh, I love shit like this. Slowed and reverb maybe. Nice to see Aekae expanding his horizons with this kind of approach. I'm liking it. I mean, sure, I did hope for, I guess, more expansion of that idea in the second beat drop specifically. It didn't feel repetitive necessarily, but more reserved and not all too, didn't really take any bold risks. But for what it was, for what it did, very, very enveloping and vivid, like most of Aekae's music is, although still to the point and catchy even. Okay, that was good. Serenity, Ivy. Don't know what to expect with this one. I've heard Garage from Serenity, Hardwave, and some other shit on their SoundCloud page, and all have been executed very well. This sounds like Garage, minimal Garage actually. That's organic as hell. Those snaps too. Oh, thought they were gonna come in. Future Garage. This is almost too minimal, like too little going on. I like the vibe it sets up, but it feels like an intro. Looking at this as an interlude, a pretty late interlude, it's the fourth to last track. It'd be great. Looking at it as a full song, it feels unfinished, like an intro that hasn't sprung to life yet. There were moments in there that were a little more impactful with the recent shit and more elements being introduced. But for it being so laid back as it was, the soft pattering drums, faint but dreamy melodicity did work well. And the ambiance and the vibe and the atmosphere was definitely set up. Although it did end quickly and not so much unresolved as unfinished in my opinion. Like another section just to round it out. Rest was nice. It's not one of my highlights off Serenity's discog for the reasons I mentioned, but still. It's all about perspective, really. If you're looking at the song as an interlude, it does work. Interlude or an outro, actually, but in this case, I definitely don't see how it's an outro, obviously, because it's not the last song, and it's pretty late for an interlude, too. I've seen interludes that are towards the end of compilations, albums, whatever. So looking at this as just another song in the compilation feels slightly unfinished. Outside of that, I did enjoy it. Let's get into Ferlite. Ferlite's back with Learning to Live. I was sad after going over his Sonata LP because he told me beforehand that he was going to be quitting, but he's back. Love to see it. Y'all know Ferlite. It's a dude who made Future Tear Out almost a year ago. I don't fully know how to sum up Ferlite's style because it's so all over the place. It's broad and very, very unique. I know he takes influence from Tear Out, trap, even emo rap and trap rap because of his vocals at points sometimes. But it's so all-encompassing and he's covered so much ground with his approach that I really couldn't tell you where he 100% draws all his influences from. He's definitely one of my favorite producers in the underground dubstep scene. And I feel like a lot of his stuff is slept on. If y'all want to hear more of what he's all about, just check out the Sonata LP. I believe it's still up on his SoundCloud. I pray he didn't delete it. That was a nice ARP sequence there. That's a big bass. That quirky, glitchy vocal chopping. Alright, that was cute as hell. What a great way to end out this song. It really rounded it out. His vocals came in, some nice guitar, the ambience, and now about 20 seconds of silence. That's standard Ferlite for you right there. Crunchy bass lines in that first drop too. Feel like this is more of an I'm Back song. And to just go off on a whim here, you really can't look at music 100% objectively. You also have to look at the artist behind the music and their legacy, their career, their entire discography to pit it up against something. I mean, comparisons are subconsciously made day to day with anything. And with Ferlite, it's just that one minute he says he's quitting, next minute he's back. Obviously, it wasn't that drastic. I've known that he's producing again for like, I don't know, half a year now, 4 months, 5 months. I don't even remember when the Sonata LP dropped. I think it was about June or July. So I've known that he's come back to making music for a couple months now. And this song being pretty typical of him, just reinforcing that fact that he's back, that's already enough for me. I'm not gonna lie, if this was any other producer and it'd just be a not out of the ordinary tune, I'd probably just say, yeah, it's pretty typical for him and dip. That'd be the end of it. But this is, again, more of a statement, I feel like, to sort of say, I'm still here. Not to say that that's the only good thing about this song. It obviously has its tropes and unique aspects to it. Like, again, the RP intro and the crunchy drop and that ambient piece, which we've heard from him before, but it's sort of reinvented here. And of course, that cute lead on top of the crunchy drop. Yeah, just looking at this song, just ignoring the fact that none of us knew that he was going to quit, come back, all that. It's a pretty typical song for him, but now it feels more like a return, actually. Hope all that shit that spewed out of my mouth just made sense. Second to last track though, Retina and Ringneck with Kind. Retina, don't know too much about Retina, listened to one song of theirs, one or two, thought they were decent. Just, I think a tediousness problem. I think I like the ideas. And Ringneck, I've heard 2 songs of Ringneck's, loved them both. Nopu's side alias. The music that they release under Nopu is good, but I do like the Ringneck stuff more. Yeah, it's ambient, it's very all-encompassing and eclectic. That 5th interval tune was amazing, despite it being an interlude. I'm gonna say that was in my top 3 songs of that entire comp. What is that chit-chat in the left and right speakers? I love that bass line. The way it pitches up. Okay, that was kind of anticlimactic. I thought this was like a build-up section. Sounded like, I don't know, post-rock? I feel like this motif here is being reused a bit too much. I hear some slight variation there. I actually like how drawn out this is. I was about to say this is also tedious, but when it comes to drone, ambient stuff, it's allowed to be a bit extensive and just stay like it is. And plus, all the shit that's going on here sort of adds variation-wise. The jungly field recording shit and the vocals. Cannot make out what these movie samples are all about. Love this riff. I will say, despite it having similar problems to the other Retina song that I've covered off of WG9, I believe, it's repetition in some sections and it getting kind of tedious. This tune had its climax, or its lead up to the climax per se. And that's why I feel like this as an outro song actually works, not gonna lie. Yeah, I liked how psychedelic this tune was generally. With the repetition, although I did find it to be a little excessive, I get that that's sort of something they wanted to put forth to the table. That's my assumption, at least. Repetition and emphasis on a handful of ideas. And it more or less worked for them. I mean, maybe some parts could have been switched up more, in my opinion, more variation, but I really messed with the atmosphere overall of this tune, and I hear Retina and Ringneck and them collaborating on this song as well, so to be honest, nothing to complain about. Alright, let's get into the final song, bonus track. Big People Hashidas, Drillus 4 feet, Shag, Shvug. I think it's Shvug. Let's go. You know what? It's kind of late in the evening. I'm going to save this specific song because I know it's going to be the best one off the comp. I'm going to save it for tomorrow. So I will be right back for y'all, but I'm going to go to sleep and we'll check this one out. Okay, everyone. I'm back. Ready to get into this final WGX track. SoundCloud exclusive. Bonus tune. Hashidas's Drillus 4 featuring Shvug. Here we go. Feel like this is gonna be the best one. Ooh, that transition, stellar. Oh! Alright. I love that Jumpman sample. Ooh, that snare. Let's go. How many switch ups are there gonna be? Ooh. That riser is crazy. Reverb control on point. I don't even know what to say about this one, really. The repurposing of the samples, the variation in there specifically, just stellar generally, fucking unbelievable. The melodicity was on point with that glossy overtone and the rearing sustains and Shvug's incorporation as well, like towards the midsection, towards like the back end, was also just insane. Probably the best one off the compilation, not gonna lie. Gotta listen to it on my AirPods as well as soon as the vid finishes, just to re-listen to how goated it is, honestly. Now, but on a serious note, why did I even fuck with some of those sections? Bro, my music taste is so messed up. That was the compilation, y'all. Interval Audio, WG, SX. Another great compilation from Troy and Co. A lot of surprises on this one, not just from the producers / artists I knew were gonna bring something different to the table, but from some regulars as well. And yeah, like 5 of these tunes just transcended electronic dance music. We had some rock in here, some punk inspired stuff, some metal, and of course those hard rap songs as well. I said I was gonna count up how much dubstep was actually on this compilation. So I'm gonna count Tortura by Masq, Expression, the Nimda, The Punishment, Sacrilege, Insect Zone, Aekae Monto, I Am, Tarnished, Amoonster, Glitch Kiss, Howler, Only 12 out of the 29, right? Yeah. That may be the case for a lot of WG compilation releases. I'm not too sure, but yeah, what a way to celebrate the big 10. Really feels like a celebratory iteration of the Without God compilation series. As for my favorites, as always, final favorites will be in the description below. Yeah, Troy should have just labeled this as #music. This is just music. It's not even electronic at some points anymore. This thing is great. It pushes the boundaries of what an underground music compilation can be. There's something in here for everyone, I feel like. And it's not even odd to the point where everything's unexpected and they just hit you with something different. This is definitely interval sound, just expanded upon greatly, especially towards the second half. I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm almost 2 weeks late on this. By the time the vid comes out, I probably will be 2 weeks late on this, but shout out to Interval for the 10th iteration of the best compilation series that they've put out, and it really living up to the hype. Once again, shout out to Troy for sending me this compilation early. This has been your boy Joe. Drop your opinions in the comment section below. What were your favorite tracks? Let me know especially what your favorite non-EDM tracks were, because I'd really like to know. If it was one of the rap songs, if it was the Sean Tetsuro song, or even the metal tune. What were your least favorite tracks as well? And yeah, shout out to these producers. Check them out as well. Show them some love. Give them support. And I will see y'all in the next vid. Bye.